Hello. So it's animal testing awareness week, and most people aren't aware that they still test on animals for I basically just want to do a little bit of an education video because most people just don't even think about animal testing. Like animal testing happens with every item around your house, unless you're vegan and you're aware of this. So Colgate toothpaste. That toothpaste that sits on your sink is being force fed to animals and is being put into bunnies' eyes and everything. Like bleaches, cleaning products, food items, makeup, drugs. But like these are all there's no scientific value in animal testing. It is literally just a legal requirement because of the chemicals they're putting in these products, and these products only need to have need to be tested on, or not to say tested on, legal testing on it is because they could be harmful for you, not for the animals, because the animals aren't going to buy those products, and what works for an animal won't work for a human. And I've got I've been researching animal testing because obviously it's been animal testing week, and I just want people to be aware that that it really doesn't work, and that paracetamol that kills guinea pigs, and it also but they can eat strychnine. Now strychnine's highly toxic to humans and can even kill them. But you think monkeys are the same as us? No, it's not the case. Like monkeys can eat strychnine and they're fine, but humans we can't eat it. It's highly toxic and very highly fatal. So these are just some of the examples. I also want to talk about how aspirin that kills cats. Did you know that it's called the medication's called Did You Tell Us? It sounds like Did You Tell Us, but it's actually called Do You Tell Us? The main remedy to activate it's the main medication they use for cardiac patients and people with heart disease. Yeah, that raises high blood pressure in dogs. Doses of opium that could kill a man is perfectly fine for sheep, and sheep can eat it till it comes out their ears. Arsenic, once the murderer's favourite poison for humans, sheep can eat that until it comes out their ears. Animal testing is actually really bad science. It's got no scientific value whatsoever. And people need to start understanding this, because if as soon as people start realising that we shouldn't be testing on animals, because it's just a money-making thing. They're making money off other living beings. It's just a whole big money-making thing. It's not saving anybody's lives. In fact, the first humans who take a new medication that's hit the markets is the first guinea pig, so to speak. Literally the first guinea pig. Look at thalidomide back in the 60s. 10,000 women were given these in, what was it? Flamida, I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about, the bloody medication, thalidomide. Well, thalidomide is the illness. Thalidomide? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, so they were given that vaccine or medication, I'm not sure, it was supposed to help them and their babies, but it didn't. It affected 10,000 pregnant women, and then 10,000 people had to live with no limbs. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine being born with no limbs and the pressure that would put on your family and everything? I mean, what? Because animal testing works, because we need to save our children and sacrifice a dog. Animal testing doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. It has no scientific value. It's only done to protect corporate greed. What's one of the biggest killers today? One of the biggest killers today is prescribed medication. And we already know a few prescribed medications. Let's face it, even bloody heart disease, man. Heart disease, that's a number one killer. We all know someone who's got heart disease, who's got angina, or or like, have had a heart attack or a stroke. Now, here in Australia, 30% of deaths annually are caused by heart disease. Now, it is a fact that 80% of them can be cured with a whole food, plant-based diet. Google everything I'm telling you. Everything I'm telling you is facts. And like, these pharmaceutical companies don't want you dead, but they don't want you in good health either. They want you at a level where they can make money off you. Pop you a pill, keep making money off you. They don't want a whole community of people who are rich in health. They want to make rich off our back pockets and our illnesses, because let's face it, there's no money to be made off people with good health. And that's another reason why animal testing doesn't work. You really need to start looking into what you're putting your money into. Start looking at natural stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, there is medication out there that does work. But, like, animal testing does not work. It has no scientific value. That is a fact. What else do I want to tell you? Like, even when they test stuff on eyes, like rabbits' eyes, like, human eyes are 52 millimeters thick. A rabbit's eye is 36 mils thick. And rabbits don't have a tear duct, so they can't like wipe out like tear, like, you know what I mean, just tear out the drugs that are being forced into their eye. Now these rabbits are put into like boxes with like a thing that goes over their head, and then they pull their eyes down and they drop it in, and then they have this put in their eyes over and over again for anywhere between like 3 to 5 days. I'm not talking like one and then leave it in there. I'm talking like this happens like depending on the drugs and how often they want to put it in. Let's face it, there's no animal rights laws in animal testing labs. That's why they want to keep us out of there. They want people to hide from the truth, because it's already known that these rabbits, that when they have this stuff put in their eyes, some of their eyes get completely destroyed. Like, when I say to you completely destroyed, the eye is just gone. Like, it's been burned. They can't move. They feel everything. They're stuck there, and until their eyeballs have just gone. Like, their eyeballs have been burnt out of their own head. They've got no tear ducts. They can't get rid of that drugs that we're putting in their eye. And please remember, for what I said to you at the start, this is the same shit that they're putting in our bloody toothpastes, that we're in like all of our stuff in our household are still being tested on drugs. People need to understand this. Like, how long's Colgate been on the bloody markets for? And that stuff's still being force fed to these animals. Another thing I want to make people aware of for animal testing is they refuse to give animals any painkillers. No painkillers, numbing agents, nothing. We actually build them restraints. So they put animals in boxes and like actual made restraints for their bodies. Like in farming for, like, the rape rack or the crusher, so we can cut their body parts off without them being able to fight for themselves. These are all things that man has made to imprison animals and restrain them from protecting themselves while we do horrendous things to them. And it's not going to stop unless we have the power to stop this. This is the crazy thing. Put your money where your mouth is. If you don't agree with animal cruelty, just don't fund it. So these restraints, you got restraints, right, where these monkeys are like, they're like pinned back like this, arms, legs down, and then the scientists will either cut their vocal cords so they can't scream. There's also a medication they give these animals so they can't scream. This is the only medication. They'll give medication to stop them from screaming, but they won't give them any numbing agents or painkillers for what we do to them. And these animals, some of them will have their chest cut open, their whole rib pulled open, have operations, have things pulled out of them. No painkillers, no numbing agents, nothing. This is animal testing, and animal testing's wrong, and we already know it's bad science. What have we done to these animals? What we believe they deserve to die like this when we already know that animal testing is bad science and it doesn't save anybody. Nobody. What works, like I said, thalidomide. If it had worked on a whole bunch of mice, then we wouldn't have had 10,000 people born with no limbs. Do you know what I mean? Think about it. Animal testing doesn't work. Interspecies animal testing doesn't work. What else do I want to tell you? It's Animal Testing Week, and I really want people to start understanding the truth about animal testing, because it's wrong. It's really wrong. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for me to know that there are animals having their limbs cut off, their body parts opened up and poisoned, force-fed to the point their stomachs split and break, and they roll around in agony until they die. What for? Make a human sick. It's got to stop. Anyway, animal testing. If you think you know someone who doesn't know that much about animal testing, share my video and my rants to get them aware, and then they can go and start educating themselves. And if you want to know stuff on animal testing, also look up Shaq's campaign, Stop Huntington Live Science. They're really good. They're just amazing. Just check them out. They're amazing. They're an activist group in England who actually managed to get a couple of animal labs in England closed down due to animal cruelty, which is actually really hard to do. If you think about what you can do to an animal in an animal testing lab, and put them in a strain, cut them up, give them no painkillers, numbing agents, even do brain surgery. There is even footage of them having cats and cutting their heads off and pulling their brains out of their head while they're still alive, while they're still feeling everything. There's footage on what it'd be like for a bloody burn victims, where they've bloody tied down pigs and got bloody I don't know what you call it. It's like a bloody gun with a flame on the end, and burnt a pig so hard that you could pick its skin off its own body like that. If you think and their skin's different to ours again, if we need cream for burn victims, why don't we test burn cream on burns of people who are already burnt? Not an animal where the cream could not work for us and cause us more bloody scarring. Think about it. It's not right, and it's harming us. Animals testing needs to stop. But you have the power to change this. All the items that you buy need to be cruelty-free. Look for the cruelty-free bunny. In fact, I've got one of the cruelty-free bunnies tattooed on me. 1 second, I don't want to... It's not the best tattoo, but... Look for that bunny. Also, the other jumping bunny. We need to stop it. Anyway, I think I'm rabbiting on too long now. I reckon my video's going on for maybe 20 years. But I know I have a lot to say. But it's Animal Testing Awareness Week. Please, I'm asking every single one of you, share my video to someone who doesn't know about animal testing, or sit down, educate yourself and talk to family members, talk to your friends about animal testing. Ask them, what do they know? Because I'm telling you now, the average person thinks that animal testing benefits humans, and it doesn't. It is scientifically proven that it's got no science value. Animal testing is a legal requirement, not scientific. That is a fact. And it's only to protect corporate greeds and their forever growing law bloody cases and whatever you want to call it. Anyway, much love to you all, and yeah, ban animal testing. We have the power to change this. The power is in the hand of the consumer. Mwah. Thank you.